Fort Worth South was established in 1995, and it's exciting as we look into the future, starting our 17th year. And I think back on the many people that saw the vision and had the dream of what Fort Worth South area could become. The transition of our main corridors along Rosedale, Magnolia, South Main, Hemp Hill continue to grow this area. I'm so appreciative of the commitment that the hospitals have made, as well as all of the community leaders, the diversity that we have in our residential development. I thank the many people that saw the vision and believed in this community from the very beginning, and I know that the best is yet to come.
I saw a desire in myself to have a place for musicians to play, and a place where people could go hear musicians in the right environment. I like the sense of community that was in this area, especially amongst the business people. Everyone seemed to want to work together and cooperate with each other, and I knew this was the area I wanted to do it. I think that the Live Oak Lounge is really going to anchor this end of Magnolia and is already attracting other businesses, and I think as we get opened and several other businesses that are in this modern drug village, the old original modern drug village, as they start to get involved, more people will come, and I just think it will grow. And I think that you have to be willing to take a little bit of a risk, but I think the benefits of taking that risk are going to be great.
We are a Japanese brew pub. In Japanese it's called izakaya. It's kind of a new trend that's becoming more popular in the U.S. It's something that's been around in Japan for hundreds of years. It's a casual place where people can have a little more elevated food.
People are used to sushi, Americanized form of sushi, but Jerry and Mary came up with a great concept with something more, taking it back to the basics and offering more traditional Japanese food. And I think the space kind of brings that feel and vibe of cool. I think chic is the word being thrown around now for the restaurant, and it just kind of fits our concept.
The Moncrief Cancer Institute can bring some of the cutting-edge science to the Fort Worth community, especially in areas like cancer prevention, cancer survivorship, and cancer research. But what also makes us unique is our focus on the underserved and the underinsured, some of the most vulnerable people within our population. Our roots have been in the medical district on the near south side for as long as we've been in Fort Worth. Working with Paul and Mike and all the great leadership of Fort Worth South, we were able to find this really perfect spot for us on Magnolia. You can imagine that this type of a location where we are occupying over 4 acres, we're constructing a 60,000 square foot building. There were a lot of different hurdles that we had to overcome, and the Fort Worth South leadership was really instrumental in negotiating those resolutions, not just with the city, but with the utility companies and really everybody else. And I don't think that we could have done it without Fort Worth South.
I am very fortunate to be asked to be part of a new project that's being developed here. And it's the Supreme Golf Warehouse building, and we're taking that and we're transforming it into beautiful loft spaces, and we're gonna have a beer garden, and it's just so exciting because it was something that I was looking for when I was living here. It was a place where artists and musicians can come together and maybe watch a film one day a week out in the back with fire pits, and just to sit back and relax and meet new people. I want to give back to this neighborhood. I really do feel like I'm at home now. And just the music that comes out of this area and the artists and the people that I've met, I want to collaborate with them and have a space that we can all come together and make this area grow.
Cook Children's in this area is in a very unique spot right now, in that we have a very thriving community. We have a community that says, this is how we can do it, instead of thinking of 20 reasons how we can't do it. And I know Fort Worth South very much has that kind of attitude and approach. It's been very helpful for us, and it has allowed not only Cook Children's, but the other hospitals, the adult hospitals within this medical district, to really not only survive, but thrive in very, very uncertain times.
Schaefer Advertising is a full-service ad agency. When we were looking for a location, we wanted a building that was historically significant. We wanted a community that was a blended community and not just this homogeneous sameness. We wanted a community that would embrace us moving here and trying to accomplish what we were trying to do in our building. And we found all of that in the Magnolia area. And When I think back to when all this began, had it not been for Fort Worth South being one of the kind of beacons for us to just help us navigate, I don't know that it would have been successful, and we couldn't be happier with our move. When you buy an old building, you buy it because it's an old building. But we needed to convert its use from 6 apartments to commercial single-tenant use. And so preserving the look and the feel of the building with a respect for its heritage and its history and the pedigree behind this building, while making it work for what our needs was paramount. So this investment for me was extremely personal. In a lot of ways, I mean, we've never done a development project. We went all in. Why would I go all in a place that I was uncertain or not confident in its direction?
So what I do is I ride around on the street and I pick people up to give them a ride. I can do food deliveries, I can do special events like weddings. We do tours of the neighborhood, historic tours. I'm really happy that I had Fort Worth South to help me out. I went to them when I found out that pedicabs were not zoned in the south part of Fort Worth. So they helped me obtain the necessary permits to change the zoning for the area. Absolutely seeing a lot more pedestrian traffic, and I'm really looking forward to more venues opening on Magnolia Avenue and in the general area, because that's really going to help develop my business.
All of us that work in healthcare are so grateful to Fort Worth South for the incredible commitment that's demonstrated by Paul and by the entire staff each and every day to make this a fabulous place to live in, a fabulous place to work in, and generally just a high quality, exciting part of our community.
The people that run the businesses on Magnolia are all local and wonderful, but a lot of transplants are there too. A lot of wonderful people from Italy and the Midwest and just European areas that have come together and formed businesses. And they're wonderful, and they make you feel like you're at home. So when you go there, you feel like you're part of a family too.
Before we kind of nailed down this area, we kind of interviewed some of the business owners in this area, and we talked to Mike Brennan. I know we went to Old Neighborhood Grill, talked to the owner there, because he had been there forever. He said, you know what, if you support the neighborhood, they'll support you.
Over the last just 5 years that I've been here, I have seen it evolve, and I see it growing, and I believe in it. I believe in it to the point where I'm all in.
One of our top goals, it's been a top goal for years now, is to get more people living in the near South Side. We have close to 30,000 workers. A large percentage of those workers would like to have at least the option of living close to work. So a lot of the things that we explore with developers are opportunities to just build more housing.
13 years ago, there was maybe one person in point any direction and go a mile, and I can think of maybe one household in this whole area here. And largely I'm talking about the South Main area. Now we have close to 100 households.
I was actually really surprised when I came out here to meet so many people that had moved here from the Midwest, especially artists and musicians, because I'm a performance artist myself and an educator. And I just fell in love with the people I was living around here in the South Main area. I just found this wonderful, eclectic group of people that I enjoyed being around.
This is an awesome time to live in the Fort Worth South area, the near South Side, because it's booming. There are a lot of young people coming into the neighborhood. It's an established neighborhood. It's got a lot of eclectic people and eclectic places to go and to visit. It's just fun.
This whole area has its own feeling to it. Just the architecture alone and the people that decide to live here, it's a conscious choice. It really is a conscious choice that you make to be a part of this community.
You've got a residential community behind us that is changing by the day. Drive down any street and look at the number of houses that are being renovated, and they're being renovated with quality.
What's happened is, it's just the type of folks that have chosen to come over here are pretty extraordinary, and you've got a community that's really kind of organically developed over time.
the more residential development that we can get, the better. It's gonna increase safety in the neighborhood just because you have a 24-hour presence. It's going to support local businesses by bringing more customers, and it's just going to increase the vitality of the district. We've been able to produce some successful events, community events, that have really just sort of gained the attention of people not just in the neighborhood, but really throughout the region.
Those are, key events that I think draw people to this area, and it promotes foot traffic, which I think is the most important thing about this street, which is what I love, is that you can park somewhere and then just walk up and down it, and I think that's great for this area.
Arts Goggle is a grassroots gallery crawl event, and basically the businesses throughout the district will transform themselves into art galleries for the night, and basically host an open house that, where they'll have, food and drinks, and they'll have an artist in their space displaying their work. It's grown tremendously. Now it attracts thousands of people to the streets of the near South Side, and you'll see Magnolia Avenue and South Main and Jennings and Park Place just filled with people going from business to business to see art, stopping along the street to see the live music. Friday on the Green is a live music series that we kicked off in the fall of 2008, and immediately it was a lot of fun for a lot of people, and it just has continued to grow. It's like a huge community picnic with great music. It's an opportunity for the neighborhood to just walk down the street, Magnolia Green, throw a blanket on the lawn, listen to the best live music that the region has to offer for free. At the event, they can buy, great food from Chadra and from Central Market. They've got beer from Broadband Brewery. It's really a big success. Open Streets was an event that we kicked off for the first time in 2011. We did 2 events, and this is something that cities really throughout the world have done, where they just close off a section of streets to cars and open them up to people on bikes, just strolling down the street or walking their dog, on skateboards. We have food trucks. We line the streets with other activities. It was amazing to see hundreds of people on the street, no cars, people just having fun with their families. The running, it's almost become a genre of events for the near South Side. We've got Joe's Run in March. We have Raw Brewery has established a 5K Oktoberfest event, and actually usually the last weekend in September. And then the third run through the district is the Cowtown Marathon. Well, the Cowtown Marathon relocated their office to Park Place a couple years ago, and they changed the route so that it comes straight through the district, down South Main and Magnolia and through Fairmount, and then out Park Place past their office.
I think that this area offers something that no place else in, for sure, Fort Worth and maybe even the Metroplex offers.
Just the vibe is something that is, it fits the creative community.